back with the KVI Night Vision news for the 2020-2021 school year, Night Vision Home Edition.
Bringing the kingdom together. This is Night Vision News.
In this very busy week of elections and the COVID situation in our city, we bring you the state of the school as presented by our principal, Enrique Herrera.
So currently at Hanks High School, our teachers were supposed to come back as of this Friday, but we all know the current situation in the city. So the idea is that we're going to continue with learning hubs. We've got students and families that are requesting to come back. So notices have been sent out by the district to inform them that as of next week, students that have requested to come back to campus, the building will be open to them. But I think what's important to understand if you're a family in the current situation is that the learning hubs is the setup just like at home right now. You're logged into your computer and you're going to be receiving instruction from your teacher online. So we're talking about big areas in the building, whether it's the gym, the band room, the orchestra room, and we have social distancing. And for the next 8 hours, you're going to receive your instruction from those large areas. So once again, I think we're all wanting to come back, but really science, data, and everything that the guidelines are coming to us from the city, from CDC, from the health professionals in El Paso. It's not the safest place right now, but nonetheless, we will be providing services to families that have chosen through the Choice to Learn survey that was sent out in October. So we're available to receive those phone calls and provide more guidance with regards to coming on campus. But teachers will not be on campus. We have very few that are coming on campus, but the instruction that they're providing is online to their students. So the once again, the learning hubs is going to be an area that'll be it'll be manned by subs and some of our teachers that we do have on campus. So
being part of a democracy means being able to choose your public leaders. That very exercise took part of our own library here at Hanks. The county election officials arrived early at our school and started following election protocols in addition to COVID precautions.
This is my 9th year on campus, so I've seen elections at Hanks several times. And I expected this one to be very busy, to have a lot of people. And sure enough, when I got to campus a little bit before 8 o'clock, there was a line outside to go inside and vote. The judge was there already, of course, with his people working the polls, and they had somebody at the door, and I didn't get too close just because of social distancing, but I know they were practicing all the safety procedures. They were wiping everything down. Students may not realize that they vote multiple times, maybe a day, or they voted a lot. So some of the examples that Cat in the Hat explains is that you vote in class to decide what you're gonna do or who's gonna go first, or maybe even with your family to pick a movie, what movie you're gonna watch, or what food you're gonna eat that day. So even though these decisions are not quite as important as our elections, it's important for them to know that they do have a voice and that their voice matters, because obviously without their voice, they have no say. And we have that right, and it's important for students to practice that right.
The voting procedures took place smoothly, and all citizens who arrived were able to cast their votes without any problems. Attendance continues to be an issue on campus. Seniors and freshmen continue to be on top of attendance percentages, but we still need for sophomores and juniors to step up to the plate and do much better.
I think the first 9 weeks, we wrapped up the first 9 weeks. We did great. We're setting up perfect attendance certificates right now. I just signed over 100 of them for our students. So we continue to make sure and promote and bring awareness to attendance. Congratulations to our seniors. They're doing a great job. They're above 95%. Our freshmen are just behind them with, I think it's about 94%. And our juniors and sophomores need some work. They're all above 90%, but the goal is that we should have above 95% for all of our grade levels.
Juniors and seniors, scholarships are available for you and all you have to do is apply for them. Scholarships for the month of November are up and running. Check out the YSC district page for more information. Also, don't forget to complete your FAFSA application. Remember that the sooner you do it, the more money you're eligible to get. To apply, go to studentaid.com. Thanksgiving is still going on, and listen, you can have your library fines waived. Yes, waived. When you donate canned goods at the library. Not only will you be debt-free, but you will be helping families in our feeder pattern this Thanksgiving. All you have to do is donate at least 2 items, put them in a bag, and include your name, ID, and classification to receive credit. Donations will be received in the library Monday through Thursday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Thanksgiving competition is still on. This is what we're asking you to bring and donate per classification. Freshmen, cream of chicken and cream of mushrooms. Sophomores, mashed potatoes and gravies. Juniors, stuffing and chicken broth. Seniors, cranberries. Don't forget to bring your canned goods outside the library. Please wear your mask and practice social distancing. There is plenty to celebrate in sports. Our cross-country team did an excellent job during last week's meet. For the first time since 1999, Hanks Cross Country obtained a district championship with individual wins for Gael Alvarado, finishing first place, and Alejandro Taran was second place. In the team front, the Knights came in first place, followed by Bel Air second and Del Valle third.
The boys ran really well, and they finished first. They're district champs. It's the first time since, I think, 1999 that the boys cross-country team has won district. And the girls finished third. They fell a little bit short, but they all ran their best times of the season. So I'm very proud of them. They couldn't have done anything better. They did the best they could.
Our by-district champion tennis team traveled to Midland last Friday to a regional competition to compete against some very tough opponents.
You know, for us, it was no chance over there. The only kid who did good was Kevin Morales, my number 1 player. He had a chance to win a set of their number 1. So it's good for him for hopefully in the spring when we have individual regionals. Hopefully that would be for him it would be a good boost of confidence because he is projected to go to regionals in the state. And the kid Kevin played, he is probably the favorite to win state. And since Kevin almost won the set off of him, that would be great. So maybe he can do something at regionals in the spring. For the rest of the kids, because my team is very young, they're all, I only had 3 returning varsity players from last year. The rest of them are very young. It was a great experience, but they're not experienced enough, and they they're not at that level to compete from where those kids are.
And it is time for our academic travels with our very own Liliana Rollins.
Hello, intrepid travelers. Today we're going to be checking out New Zealand. New Zealand is a small island nation located in the Pacific Ocean. It has diverse lands such as vast valleys, cool caves, glacier lakes, beautiful beaches, snowy mountains, and even active volcanoes. Its 4.8 million people are diverse too, ranging in New Zealand European, Polynesian, and other Pacific peoples. Overall, it's a really amazing place, but what I found really cool was their wildlife. This episode is going to focus on the giant Wetapunga bug. The giant Wetapunga bug is literally the largest bug in the world. Now brace yourselves. What you are about to see is the ugliest bug in the world. You may ask, Lily, why would you ever do an episode about this horrendous thing? Well, while they're ugly, bugs are essential. Some bugs we absolutely need in order to keep balance to the food chain. So maybe at the end of this episode, you'll learn to like this little guy and see that he isn't so bad. Drumroll, please. The giant Wetapunga.
As
as I said, the giant Wetapunga, or the giant weta, is the largest bug in the world. It can be up to 2.5 ounces, roughly the size of a rat. The giant weta is a nocturnal insect that cannot fly or jump. It's also an herbivore that especially loves carrots. Their waste is really good fertilizer for plants, too. Weirdly, the giant Wetapunga doesn't have lungs. They breathe through little holes in their exoskeleton. They have ears on their front knees, too. The Wetapunga first roamed the Earth during the Triassic period. It's older than some dinosaurs. New Zealand was once part of a larger landmass, and about 80 million years ago it broke off. Almost no mammals lived there, which caused a large number of flightless birds and insects to thrive, like the weta. But 800 years ago, Polynesians came and brought rats and cats that killed off most of those animals. The only reason the weta survived is thanks to the hedgerow, an invasive plant species with yellow flowers and thorns. The wetas would hide there to avoid getting eaten. The Wetapunga's scientific name is Danacrita mahoanui, which means terrible grasshopper. The weta is also named as the god of ugly things. Hey, now to me that's not nice. It's not the prettiest thing, but it's not as ugly as like a cockroach. However, most New Zealanders don't feel the same way and really dislike the insect for its appearance. Now, the giant weta is an extremely endangered species. It only lives in man-made habitats, and a few are shipped to little islands clear of predators. Not only will they live happily on the islands, but they'll help the plant life as well. Unfortunately, most people in New Zealand are anti-weta, because it isn't as cute or pretty as birds and mammals. So, New Zealand is teaching children to be fascinated by bugs, not fear them. In the Auckland Zoo, they set up the Bug Lab, a fun exhibit teaching kids about cool bugs. So while bugs aren't the most pretty creatures, they still are important. They help maintain the ecosystem, they help plants, some can even be good pets. But according to the Union for Conservation of Nature, 5.7% of all bug species are endangered. That's 343 species and 21 subspecies. To save more insects, don't use as much plant fertilizer and avoid bug zappers. To learn more, go to endangeredspeciesinternational.org. Because while they might be pests, bugs don't deserve to go extinct. Except cockroaches. They gross. Well, thanks for tuning in. You're the cat's pajamas. Stay classy.
We continue this week with our student showcase. Sophomore student Dan V has the following video for us where he presents to us a one-on-one interview.
Hi, my name is Dan Kushuvargas and this is Anna George. Let me be clear, this is going to be a very short interview so that I can know more about you as well as my audience. Right now, we are in the midst of a pandemic. We have to wear a mask, social distance, wash your hands. So how did COVID-19 affect you?
So COVID-19 affected me in a really bad way. I really miss school. We can't go to school now. It is totally virtual, and I really miss being out with my friends, going out, hanging out with them, and yeah, that's how COVID-19 affected.
What is your ambition?
My ambition is to become a pilot because I really love being out in the skies, flying out, and physics is something that I really like. So that way I like to be a pilot.
Summer is the time when students enjoy their life and do all sorts of things. So my question is, did you learn something new during summer?
The thing that I learned in the summer was to do calligraphy. I'm really into cursive writing, so I thought, okay, why don't I try calligraphy? Yeah, that's the thing that I learned this summer.
That's great. We all have our fears. What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is ophidiophobia, which is the fear of snakes.
Imagine that you have a superpower. What would it be and why?
The superpower that I wish I had would be to read people's mind, because that's like totally interesting and you can really get to know people like if you have the superpower. But yeah, every superpower has got the positive and negative side. But then looking at the positive side, I think this is like a really good power I wish I had.
It was really great having you in this interview.
It was my pleasure to be a part of this interview. Thank you.
And thank you for watching.
And this ends our edition of Night Vision Home Edition. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at the address on your screen. Remember to stay safe and keep up the good work. We leave you with these images of voters voting at our library. Have a good weekend.